Hi there, this is Nova, and I want to visit with you today about the attempt to save as many of the machines as we possibly can of the Singer Featherweights from Hurricane Harvey and the ravages of the flooding that everybody has incurred down there in the Houston-Beaumont area. This is uncharted territory. We've never had this kind of a storm before. We've never had this many people affected. There are going to be hundreds of machines that are going to be affected that were underwater. I've volunteered to donate my time and labor to try to help save as many Singer Featherweights as we can from those that were affected down there. So I've had several people volunteer to help transport machines to me and back to their owners. I'm needing some more volunteers in that area, so if you would email me, my email is nova@novamontgomery.com. You can message me through Facebook as well. My Facebook page is Nova's Featherweights and Quilting. Either way will be fine, or you can call me at 936-577-4818. And let's try to do what we can to work together and help save as many of these machines for their owners as we can. I'm not 100% certain that what I'm planning will work. It's the best plan that I have been able to come up with. I've talked to several collectors. I've talked to other folks that work on these machines, have taken their input and considered it carefully. This is the best plan that I have come up with. So again, I'm not 100% it will work, but we're going to try and do what we can to save these machines for their owners. If you know that you have a family member that has a Singer Featherweight and you're going to be helping them clean up, try to clean up what you need to look for and what you need to do. When you find the machine, if the machine was in its case, take it out of its case. I'm not sure we're going to be able to salvage the machines. We're going to try and salvage everything that we can. So let the case dry out and bring it to me. We will do what we can and see about that. But the machine itself, if the water in the machine, if the machine looks clean, that's great. Most of the time when things have flooded, they're going to be in silt. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be very, very nasty. If you pull the machine out and it looks like that, take it outside, take a garden hose, pull the spool spindle plate off, pull the face plate off, and pull the drip pan from underneath the machine off of the machine. Pull those pieces off of the machine. Take it outside, rinse everything out that you possibly can with a garden hose. We want to get that silt out of there. It's just going to hold moisture and create more problems for us. So rinse everything on the machine out that you possibly can. If you have access to a hairdryer, turn the machine every which direction and try to get it as dry as you possibly can. Take a hairdryer and try to dry the machine out as best as you can. Get it all dry. And by the way, when I was talking about rinsing a while ago, that includes the motor. Rinse that motor off. Do anything that you can to get that silt out of there. And again, take the hairdryer, dry everything off that you possibly can. Make sure that you turn the machine upside down. Turn it all around to try to help get all of the water to drain out of the motor that you possibly can. Then, what we're going to suggest that you do is to get a 5-gallon bucket from Lowe's or Home Depot. The only one I had at home today to show you this was one we've used for painting. That's not ideal, but I realize these are not ideal conditions either. So I want you to take a 5-gallon bucket, and I want you to take and put the machine down inside the bucket. You will have to push the bobbin winder arm. That's this piece right here. You'll have to push it all the way down against the belt so that it is not harmed. But push that down against the belt, and then I want you to set the machine down inside the bucket. Be very, very gentle when you're doing this, but I want that machine down in the bucket, completely inside the bucket. This bucket gets narrower as it goes down, so the machine actually stops about right here. If your machine goes all the way to the bottom of the bucket, you'll need to set it up on a piece of wood, a piece of 2x4, something that you can find to raise it up just a little bit. And then I want you to completely submerge the machine in kerosene. You can get a 5-gallon bucket of kerosene at Lowe's and at Home Depot as well, and just completely cover the machine up with kerosene and get it to me just as quickly as you possibly can. Again, I'm not 100% certain that this will work. I know the motor will be fine if you take care of it like this. There are pieces inside the motor that are going to rust. That magnetic field in there will rust if you don't do anything to it. The kerosene will help displace the water and will protect it from rusting. And I'm going to get these machines serviced and back to their owners just as quickly as we can. Another thing to visit with you about, when you've got the machine down in the bucket, be sure and put all the parts that you've taken off of the machine, that spool spindle plate, the face plate, the drip pan, all those parts, put them down in the bucket with the machine so we keep all of those parts together. Label the bucket with whose machine it is so we can keep all of this together and know who the machine belongs to, where this needs to go back home. The next thing I want to visit with you about is the foot controller. Rinse the foot controller off as well. Get as much of the silt out of there as you possibly can. And then again, dry it as best you can with a hair dryer and get it to me. I do not want it put down in the bucket with the kerosene. This needs to stay dry. It does not need the kerosene inside on those little tiny carbon disc in the carbon resistance pack. So dry this, wash it out as best you can, dry it as best you can, and get it to me. Make sure you can tie it to the, if it's got a Velcro wrap on it, you can attach it to the handle of the bucket so that it all stays together. And we keep that all together to get these machines back to their owners and try to save these featherweights for future generations. Let's do what we can to help these people in Hurricane Harvey.